And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us. Greatly appreciate everybody that supports the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. We got Danny White in studio with us, insurance expert contributor on the program. We have Ray Hall as well calling into the show as well. Ray Hall Appraisals. Talk a little bit about the real estate market, what's happening. You know, I'll let you know what I think is going to be happening as well. Kind of pull out the crystal ball here and talk about what's happening in the marketplace. I love this time of year, Danny. Where you got that humidity drop and you got a little bit cooler temperatures, but we're not out of the full blown hurricane. You said it runs up into November 30th.
November 30th, correct?
Yeah, for the hurricane season.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's I was out this weekend and people were talking about it and relaxing, and I'm like, man, just hang in there. Something can come off that coast real quick. So keep your guard up, keep paying attention to the news, making sure that you've got all your supplies and everything ready there. We still got some time to go, right?
That's right. Be ready. Get a review as well from Danny White with our local expert contributor on the insurance space, all things insurance-related, property casualty, home and auto. Let's let him take a look at your policy and see if you're maybe saving some money there. See, maybe there's an opportunity for you to save some money, get a review done. As you know, we like to feature our listings on air. I'm going to talk about a couple of listings here. Also, we got a $14 million home in Tampa that is one of the most expensive homes sold to date. And now the buyer is suing the seller and the real estate agent, everybody. We'll talk about that. Also, migration from New York to Florida. What's that latest numbers? Here's some of the numbers. I'll go over that with you. And Florida Doge now over $1 billion. Dave, let's throw up that graphic here. Over $1 billion now that Governor DeSantis and CFO Chief Blazing Nolia have found. So the FAFO, they're calling it the FAFO. If you don't know what that means, look it up. But already identified over $1 billion in wasteful and excessive spending. That number continues to grow as we travel the state, exposing big government budgets that waste your tax dollars. What county or city is up next? Stay tuned. Over $1 billion exposed. Orange County, $190 million. Jacksonville, $199 million. Hillsborough County, $278 million. Alachua County, $84 million. Broward County, $189 million. Seminole County, $48 million. And Alachua, I believe that's Gainesville. That's where the Florida Gators are home to, if I recall. That's they had an 85% increase in property taxes from 2019 to 2024. So a lot of these companies, municipalities, they just run it like it's their personal checkbook and spending money, and taxpayers are kind of agreeing with that idea of that kind of came popular, 12-15 years ago, Tea Party. Taxed enough already. We're taxed enough already. No more taxes. Let's get rid of the property taxes on primary residences. That's going to be on the ballot next year, by the way. It will be on the ballot, and it's a 60% threshold. So we got to find 60% of the people that agree that, hey, let's get rid of taxes every year, just paying rent on our land that our house happens to sit on, to property taxes. Now, it's only for owner-occupied primary residence. We're not talking about second homes. We're not talking about commercial properties. We're not talking about vacant land. We're not talking about investment property, Airbnb, VRBO. We're not talking about those. All we're talking about is the veteran, the first-time buyer, the paramedics, the police officers, people, normal paying taxpayers that live in a home as an occupied primary residence. That's who we're talking about. And yes, it can be done. So a lot of the naysayers out there, they're stoking fear and division by saying, oh, well, what's going to happen to your police and your fire, and what's going to happen there? Well, there's ways around it. There's ways to pay for it. And first of all, we're doing the right thing. We're cutting all of this wasteful spending. A lot of it's DEI initiatives and a bunch of other garbage that's been wasting our hard-earned tax dollars. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here coming up. All right, hot listing here. I got Weeki Wachee Marina for sale. The Weeki Wachee Marina is for sale. And this one is a awesome opportunity at 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. You have almost 3/4 of an acre lot. well-established waterfront business with irreplaceable real estate on the Weeki Wachee River. You have 3 sides of your lot is actually on the waterfront. If you check out the photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks there, you got the whole end of the canal there with land that you can rent out. You can have boat spaces. They've got a bunch of John boats here that they're renting out and making money on, kayak rentals, paddleboard rentals, dock space for commercial vessels. This is over a $3 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. And we would love to talk to anybody that's in the market, potentially looking for a business. Maybe you got a 1031 exchange situation coming from New York. I mean, they are about to elect a socialist, some would say communist up there. Pretty radical ideas when he talks about talking about Mandami the commie. They're talking about bringing him in as mayor now. And he's going to be seizing the mechanisms of production. He's talking about making the city runs grocery stores. I mean, you're talking about some radical stuff. So if there is any dollars coming from New York, and we know the amount of dollars that are coming from New York, Dave, I can't remember if I sent this one to you, but you have there's a pretty cool website that you can put in first state, second state. Where do they move from? So you've got 383,000 people that moved over a 10-year period, and then that is an economic impact of just over 37 billion. That's a billy right there, right? $37 billion personal income migration. So, hey, let's take 3.7 million of that, put it into a Weeki Wachee commercial spot there, Danny. What do you think? Can you insure that?
I can insure that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, all day. I want to take a step back really quick to what you talked about with like doing away with the property tax. I think you explained it perfectly, right? I think people don't always look into what is actually happening.
Yeah.
And it was important that you pointed out that, it's for those homesteaded properties. It's for your primary residence and stuff like that. So, hopefully people do their homework and dig in on it a little bit there because it's important. Right?
And be careful. If they word it as no or yes, if it's a double negatives in there, be careful they don't trick you on the ballot. Sometimes they put those double negatives in there and you're like, wait, what? But it's going to be on the ballot. Of course, we're going to be talking about it here. So tune into the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com as well, and you'll hear a lot more about it here coming up. All right, we got another listing here at 9914 Ala Vista Drive, Gibsonton, Florida. And Danny, this is another beautiful listing. Now, beautiful. I want to ask you about the metal roof because I wonder if you get some type of a preferential treatment with metal roof because this one has an upgraded 50-year galvanized standing seam metal roof. You've got hurricane shutters, professional landscaping, custom exterior lighting. So a couple things that might be triggers for potential discounts for your insurances there. But 9914 Ala Vista Drive, Gibsonton, Florida, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1922 square feet. It's an elevated stilt home at the end of a quiet street. You got access to the Gulf. You also are on the Alafaya River. This has a lot of updates, a lot of upgrades there as well. Beautiful property, fully solar powered with updated panels as well. So some things that may help with the insurances there, Danny. Yeah,
I mean, most of the metal roofs that we see obviously get maximum credits. The hurricane shutters, a plus as well. I like to tell people with the hurricane shutters, it's peace of mind, right? It gives you some peace of mind at the end of the day. If a hurricane's coming, you've got that protection there. So typically with your roofers, they're putting new roofs on. They're building them to code. They're putting in the max credits. They're talking to the homeowners, letting them know, hey, this should help you on your homeowner's insurance. They're doing an amazing job out there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Being that it's elevated helps as well, right? It gives you that peace of mind knowing. So I think most of the builders, most of the roofers out there putting new roofs on have stepped up their game, just like everybody else has, to make sure that we're maximizing those discounts and those credits for the homeowners.
Yeah, that's right. And, that's what you want to do. You want to get a review done. Danny White can help you as well. He's our insurance expert contributor. The name of the company again, Danny?
SSW Insurance.
SSW Insurance. And, so check out our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors online at consumerqb.com. This is God's country. All right, so a lot of good stuff happening, man. And, when you look at the kind of what happened over the last 18 months, 12 months, 6 months, do we have a trend, or it seems like there may be a trend, I'll phrase it that way, of insurers coming back into the state? Is that providing a little bit of relief for the pocketbooks and the wallets out there?
Yeah, 100%. I've seen multiple carriers start coming back to the States, new companies coming to the States all the time. There's a couple more on the table that are going to be coming to the States. So, the more carriers we get, the more competition we get, stuff like that. There's a lot of discounts I've started seeing Carriers now give huge discounts for just having a policy with their agency. So if they have auto insurance with you, they're going to get a discount on their homeowner's insurance. Doesn't mean you're getting a multi-policy discount. It's just, hey, they're insured with you as their auto carrier. Let's give them an agency discount and stuff. So there's some really nice things that are happening out there. Across the board with auto insurance, we've seen a decrease in rates with multiple carriers, big carriers here in the state of Florida. Homeowners insurance, new construction, amazing rates on new construction homes. Amazing rates. Please give us a call, man.
Yeah.
They are just absolutely insane. 1,900 square foot house. I think we wrote one yesterday for $600.
So why is the new construction more attractive?
Just they know that it's there, that's got the builder's warranty, brand new construction, it's up to code, so it's just...
That 12-month warranty most of the time?
Yeah, with most of your builders, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cosmetics, stuff like that, roof stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and when we, kind of a pro tip there, if you're buying a new construction, first of all, they're going to say, hey, go with our mortgage guy. They might even have an insurance company they recommend. Look, you can bring your realtor with you, okay? They will negotiate with the realtor. That would be one. Number two, get an upfront inspection, even though their team says, we're the builder, we inspected it, it's fine. Have your own independent. We talked to Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection. That's who we recommend over a decade now. He's been a show partner with us. Jay Smith, A Snoop Inspection.com, A-Snoop Inspection. And then also at 11 months, get that inspection done, because now, a month from now, 60 days from now, your home warranty is up. So you want to find out 11 months, get that inspection done as well.
Yeah, I've had a couple of real estate new construction homes sold, and they've been pretty good. Hey, don't call us the first 30 days to let us know that there's a crack here. Hold on to it, bring it all to us at once, and I think that's smart. But I'm with you there that, whether it's new construction, it's an older home, have your own personal inspection done. Have somebody else put their eyes on it, take a look at it, make sure. I had an inspector that went out. There was no insulation in the house.
Oh, boy.
New construction.
Man, that's a big
we're
deal.
human. Errors happen, right? I mean, you would hope that
that's
things
a big
like that
oversight, though.
It is. But, it happens, man. It happens.
No, it does. And that's why you got to have a second look and have someone on your, advocating for you. That word fiduciary is kind of lost meaning over the years. I think some people don't even really, I say that word and they're like, what does that mean? I talk about barter a lot because I do some bartering, and then sometimes people don't even know what that word means. I'm like, okay, well, let me explain what a barter is. So I'm going to explain what a fiduciary is. Real simply put, a fiduciary is somebody that actually, let's say, for example, it's a financial advisor. Some financial advisors, if they're not a fiduciary, and we saw this in the subprime lending meltdown, okay, because as a mortgage loan originator, that mortgage loan originator could sell a certain loan and make more points on the back, right? So it's better. It's commission-based advice. It's commission breath. So in other words, back to fiduciary, what that actually means is that if I'm selling something, I have to put my customer in the absolute best product for them, specifically their criteria, not the one product that's going to make me the most amount of commission. And that's where I think subprime lending went wrong, and a lot of people are still getting it wrong with their financial advisors.
Imagine if we did that on everything that we did, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be in the problems that we have right now.
Yeah.
Right? Put the client's interest first.
Yeah.
Think about it, right?
That's right.
It's like when I go out with my clients, or I'm working with a client that walks into the office. I mean, I'm always thinking of my grandmother, my grandfather,
Yep.
Right? They get taken advantage of. They get multiple phone calls.
Right.
I get text messages all the time. Hey, should I subscribe to this? Should I pay this bill? Like, come on,
Don't click on the link. All those questions,
man.
Yeah. We had a, of course, recently just had a baby like 3 months ago, and I think there's a certain entity that keeps sending the bill over and over. It's like that's a whole nother area that you want to talk to Jason Coble about. Jason Coble talks a lot about the medical industry, how they overbill and how they continue to send bills when they're not supposed to. There's a lot to be careful of when it comes to living in today's, and like you mentioned, Danny, my heart goes out to those seniors, because those seniors, they didn't grow up with the internet. They had to learn all this stuff kind of late in life. And they probably already had a complicated life, and then they add the internet on top of it and all these different scams and protocols, and now you have AI and all this other video that could be really confusing for people. So we got to take a quick break here, and then we're going to come back more with Danny White here, SSW Insurance. He's the owner. He's the insurance guy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Work local with the local teams associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show here on the program. Greatly appreciate everybody that supports the show. Follow us online at Brandon Rimes1 at CQB Show, and please subscribe to our YouTube and Rumble channel, Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com. Looking to level up your sales game? With 20 plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent with customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings. Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, back here in studio, we're talking with Danny White, our insurance expert contributor, SSW Insurance. We have Ray Hall coming up as well. He's a local appraiser, longtime friend of the show as well. He's been on the program for probably close to a decade now, too, man. He's up there about 8 years maybe. A couple of hot listings. We'll jump right back into it. We got a bar for sale here. How about this? A commercial building and a bar with a COP license. It's 5402 West US Highway 92 in Plant City. 1716 square feet, third of an acre lot. You got a commercial general zoning turnkey bar. The owner tells me she's making about $12,000 a week cash flow. You got 16 taps, ice machine, floor, 4 flat screen TVs on site, ATM, jukebox, pool tables, well-established online presence as well. Pretty popular bar out there in Plant City. You got the COP license, which allows you to carry sell package license, beer, alcohol as well. You can take it on location with certain areas as well. Check out the Finish Line Saloon for sale, represented by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Of course, Brandon Rimes, I'm your listing agent on that property as well. We got a hot listing here at Lexington Oak Drive, 2547 Lexington Oak Drive. We have a motivated seller. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in Brandon, Florida. This is Hillsborough County. We got a motivated seller on Lexington Oak Drive, 2547. Seller is motivated. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com, and you can also check us out at consumerqb.com. Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. All right, Danny White in studio with us. Danny, what else is topical in your industry, man? What are you seeing out there? Where do you see the market going? What's new?
I mean, I like the way that the market's going, right? You know, what was it, 2 weeks ago, we had a little bit of a rate decrease there. You know, I've seen some more activity. I mean, my agents in the office are pretty busy with their mortgage brokers and the realtors, right? It's not like it was 18 months ago or 24 months ago, but it's consistently getting heavier traffic, more phone calls, all that stuff. So it's a nice trend to see, right? It's good for all parties, right? Mortgage brokers, realtors, insurance agents, appraisers, inspectors, you know, it's across the board. It's
snowball effect.
Yeah, it's nice, you know. If you're sitting back thinking that, you know, it's 2000, you know, it's 18 months ago or 24 months ago, you're wrong, but it's consistent right now.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely liking the trend on the insurance side of things. Again, we already talked about it. There's a lot more carriers coming in, so there's a lot more competition out there, competitive rates for clients and stuff. So I think we are trending in the right way, and we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, I think we are too, man. If you look at what's going on, so you have multiple things piling on at the same time. You got world peace, you got peace in the Middle East, you got tariffs, money coming in from tariffs. Yes, you have the shutdown happening, but what happens is now some of that tariff money is going to fund some of the WIC programs. So you have that in the state of Florida. Let's think about Florida real estate, Tampa Bay real estate. If you are moving into Florida, where are you going to move to? We know that Florida, Tampa Bay is one of the hottest spots. People are kind of said, you know, the East Coast is kind of cool, but it's so busy, it's so crowded, it's overcrowded down there in Dade and Miami and Broward counties. A lot of cool stuff to do, though. You can, you know, fishing right offshore. There's some cool things there.
Fish here too,
but you got to go further out, is what the fishermen will tell you. But you know, Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Clearwater, Bradenton, you know, Pasco County, all these cool areas here. You do have that election going on up in New York. You got an election in Minnesota as well. That's going to drive more people here, I think. You got the interest rates, which you alluded to. I think it's a good time. And I think the problem is if people wait, like we were conditioned to, a lot of times they're going to wait and see. It's all going to happen at once, and then you're going to have multiple offers again. Do you see that happening?
I mean, you know what happens, right? Right now we're at the interest rates we are at, right? So you could get a really good deal on the house price. What's going to happen when the rates drop down to 5%?
Yeah.
4.5%, if they ever get that.
Multiple offer. People are going to pile on.
And the values of the house are going to go up.
That's right.
So now you're going to say to yourself, you know what, I'll wait for the prices to drop. Well, when's the perfect time?
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, if you're paying rent, you know, somewhere else at $2,200, $2,300, you could easily go purchase a house. Maybe you pay $100 more, but think about the equity that you're getting inside your house.
Yeah.
You know, there's a world of opportunity out there, and you know, if you're sitting back renting, thinking I'm going to wait for interest rates to drop a little bit more, well, it won't be long after that the housing prices go right back up. So you know,
pretty cool graphic too that I found at one of our masterminds. Over 2/3 of homeowners have paid off their mortgage or have at least 50% of equity. So the people can take a home equity line. You know, they can utilize those funds to harden their home, maybe do some hurricane hardening, maybe pay off higher interest rate credit card debt. I saw some recent stats on credit card debt. Defaults are kind of up there as well. Yeah. I want to give you the last 30, 40 seconds here, Danny.
No, I mean, I think you're touching on it the way that it needs to be done, right? When it comes to the homeowner's insurance side, whether it's your home, it's your auto, it's protection, all of that stuff, at our agency, we want to look at the full picture, right? I want to take a look at your homeowner's insurance policy. I want to look at your auto policy. I want to look at any liability protection, right, that you have there, so we can make sure that we have everything dialed in the event, right? I just got a phone call here right before I walked in.
Yep.
Friend got into an accident,
oh,
right?
Boy.
Hey, let's not worry about what you got right now. Let's make sure you're okay. We know the protection that you have on your policies. Don't worry about a thing, right? That's a good phone call. I don't want somebody calling me in a panic because
Right.
They don't have the right coverages in place, right? So let us help you.
Check them out online. Danny White, SSW Insurance, longtime friend of the show, consumerqb.com. Coming up, Ray Hall Appraisals next here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty. And we're doing some deals right now for some of our audience out there. And, you know, it really means the world to us when we're able to help you buying, selling, investing, or refinancing. We're going to be talking with Ray Hall here. He's the owner of Ray Hall Appraisals, a wealth of knowledge for all things valuations, real estate appraisals, evaluating properties, finding out what the recent comps are, and, you know, taking a look at what they're valued at, residential, commercial, vacant land as well. So we're going to have Ray Hall here on the program just a moment. We're going to talk about AI. How's it affecting the appraisal industry and evaluation of the properties? Also, interesting kind of a case study on some zoning with vacant land that we're working on right now together as well. All right, a couple of hot listings. We'll jump right into it with Ray Hall Appraisals on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road in Ocala, Florida. This one is a business. You're buying the land, you're buying the building, and the goodwill and going concern with the business. It's a thriving hardware store with lucrative income streams in the booming Silver Springs Shores. That's outside of Ocala. 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road, 5,725 square feet. 1 acre lot, retail, investment opportunity, thriving hardware store, private office. You got a kitchen, conference room, expansive lot. You got multiple income streams coming in. There's rental opportunities there as well. Seller financing available with a strong down payment. And you have multiple income generating opportunities that are currently being produced. So you got income producing cash cow at 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road in beautiful Ocala, Florida. 14420 Bailey Hill Road in Brooksville. This one is compliments of Jamie, I believe, on our team. She's got a 3-acre agricultural zone property here, unimproved land surrounded by trees and other residential homes. Quick access to major thoroughfares, and you're about 40 minutes to Tampa International Airport. You're 5 minutes to a public boat ramp. So what a great opportunity to have your boat cruise down the road 5 minutes, pop it in, and you're out in the Gulf of Mexico fishing. Great opportunity, Gulf of America fishing. 14420 Bailey Hill Road, Brooksville, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our real estate expert contributors at consumerqb.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
All right, quick shout out to Satellite Phone Store. You know, it's been a little while since we talked about them here, but sat123.com, Satellite Phone Store. If you want to get a satellite phone, they've got other devices as well that allows you to have access to satellites or connectivity for satellite connectivity there for Satellite Phone Store. Longtime friends of the show. Go to sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback, REQB, like real estate quarterback, Satellite Phone Store, sat123.com/REQB. All right, Ray Hall Appraisals, longtime friend of the show. Ray, what are you seeing out there? How's the market treating you?
Well, you know, the market's, still holding on. Like we've talked about, market ups and downs are kind of specific to specific areas. It's hard to, do that overall kind of market reactions that people are looking for. But all in all, I haven't seen anything, that's really a detriment. I know, some people, again, are still waiting for that ball to drop, but, we're still holding strong. But, that kind of hinges on a lot of things. We did see a recent softening in employment, which is going to impact the housing market, but also we have to remember interest rates are set to be coming down, so that's gonna, kind of help the housing market. So, we're seeing stability and, so it's been a positive market so far, and it's been a good year for real estate, I think, coming out of what we did in the past.
Yeah, definitely an improvement. And I see that. I think things are going to be getting a lot better, man. If you look at what's happening in the New York City election, you've got also Minneapolis. You've got a couple of radicals that could be elected up there, and regardless of your politics, people are going to vote with their feet, and they're going to be coming to Florida. I mean, you're going to see record numbers. Did you know over the last 10 years, this is from 2012 to 2022, you had 383,738 people move from New York to Florida, and that's net domestic migration. And then if you look at the personal income migration, AGI, it's over $37 billion in economic impact of personal income migration. And I think we're going to see more of that, Ray.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think so too. I mean, the real estate market, it's always just been great in Florida. I mean, it does fluctuate. We do have, it's a little more cyclical than it is in some of the other areas, but we do always have that influx in the population. It's a big state. Contrary to what some people think, there's really plenty of room down here. And that's kind of what has always kept our market strong.
Yeah, exactly. If you just joined us, we're talking with Ray Hall. He is the owner of Ray Hall Appraisals. And Ray, when you think about valuations and the subjectivity that's involved, and there's, of course, high emotions in the residential side, the commercial side, not so much. Talk a little bit about what you've seen over the years relating to that.
You hit the nail on the head. There's just a lot of emotion that goes into residential real estate. I've gone into homes where, the inspection, usually I'm in and out in an inspection in about 15, 20 minutes. I can remember a house, I was in there for over an hour, because they did have such an emotional attachment, and they just wanted to tell me everything about the house that was just amazing and wonderful. And literally they were telling me that there was no house in the area that was better than their house.
Right.
At the end of the day, honestly, it was a pretty average house. There were comps in the area that were similar. And, I'm not going to say that to them, obviously, and they don't know who I'm talking about. But
right.
It was a standard house. But you've got to get through those emotions.
Right.
Because, I stand in my house right now, and I raised my kids in this house. I've been the only owner of this house. I built it. So I do have that emotional attachment. Somebody could come in and go, wow, those floors are way too dark. And that's what you see. With commercial, it's more cut and dry. It's how much money can it make? Is it meeting our needs? There's just much more of a detachment, and it actually makes valuation a lot easier on commercial than residential, because I don't get that same pushback that I get when doing, someone's house for the past 40, 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. And think about this one. You got a buyer. This is Tampa Bay Times. He spent $14 million on one of Tampa's most expensive homes. Now he's suing. So the buyer of this 5224 West Neptune, and that's down there in Beach Park area. I'm got that mapped in my head right. So the buyer buys the home. I read the article a few days ago, but it's essentially where permitting wasn't done or allegedly wasn't done, and now there's certain parts of the home that don't actually match up to the MLS, where there's potential for you got to get the permitting after the fact, or maybe you have to tear down some stuff. Who knows? Have you come across those situations where you've had kind of similar, where your permitting wasn't done, contractor maybe took a bit of a shortcut? Have you seen those? And if so, how do you remedy that?
Well, when it comes to appraising, we don't necessarily have to. It doesn't necessarily have to be permitted. It happens a lot. There's a lot of neighborhoods in Tampa where folks buy a house, they then convert the garage into an apartment. I've seen them take a single-family house and cut it up into 3 different units and want to rent that out. So we don't really have to go by permits, but what I do have to do now is I have to find sales that have unpermitted work done to them, unpermitted units, unpermitted, accessories, and I have to see what's the market reaction to buying a house with an unpermitted unit. Also, in those situations, I'll go to the lender and I'm going to say, look, they have an accessory unit. It meets the definition of an accessory unit. How do you want me to proceed? And usually what they want me to do is find out, if the house is destroyed, can they build it back with that accessory unit? And when the answer is no, a lot of times they might just tell me, then don't give any value to the accessory unit.
Oh,
so that's something to be, so that's something to be careful about when you're building those units is, you build it for the income, but the lenders may not let you get any value out of it, because they don't want their asset that is securing their loan to be secured by a portion that if, something happens to the house, they can't get that part of the asset back.
Right.
So they're going to say, no, just phrase it as if it's a single-family home with no accessory unit, or, maybe say it's a garage again or something like that. But, we always say we're not the permit police. Really what we're looking at is what is the legal use according to the zoning. Does the zoning allow that?
Right.
And there's ways you can get around it too. I mean, if you don't have a stove or a range oven in that unit, technically it's not an accessory unit. Okay. So the zoning might allow you to have a detached in-law suite. That's a separate, separate from the house, but it's not a living unit.
Got it.
So that's something to consider. There are little tricks to, little workarounds, and, you may want to get with a real estate attorney on that, but I've appraised houses where they just went through and took out portions of the kitchen so that it did not have a working kitchen, and it was no longer an accessory unit.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank Miranda can help you with that. Miranda, FCM Law here in Tampa Bay when it comes to things of that nature. We're talking with Ray Hall Appraisals. He's talking about additional dwelling units, ADUs, accessory dwelling units, you'll hear them called in some places. And also, Ray, I wanted to talk about something, the affordability. Of course, we lost Charlie Kirk about a month ago, and his birthday was this week. And here's a quick clip I came across that just kind of reminds you about that aging demographic of that first-time home buyer. The first-time home buyer, the age is increasing.
The age of a first-time home buyer in 2008 was 30 years old. It is now 38 years old. First-time home buyer. So what is causing this? Well, number one, I don't want to get like too Ron Paul libertarian, but the Federal Reserve pumping in cheap money post-2008 has just been a catastrophe.
So number one, the Federal Reserve, is what he talks about, pumping in cheap money. And then I think also with that mortgage meltdown in 06, 07, you had a lot of younger folks looking up to their parents, losing their homes under a foreclosure due to the subprime meltdown and other irrational exuberance that was happening at that time. And a lot of those, guys, young teenagers, maybe looking up to their parents saying, hey, why would I buy a home, right? So 30-year-old in 2008, now it's 38 years old. Ray, what's your thoughts on affordability?
The one thing I've seen too is just the increase in values as well. To a degree, a lot of people can't, I remember my first house was $85,000.
Yeah.
If you buy an $85,000 house now, trust me, it needs about $100,000 worth of work.
Right.
So I think it's just kind of transitioning to this point where, you've got to put some more money away. You've maybe got to stay in the working world a little bit longer, or maybe stay home longer to get into that affordability. Interest rates are having a big impact right now.
Right.
Because the affordability, as interest rates go up, the affordability goes down. So,
right.
Folks are having to, and it's not like income has raised substantially over the past several years to pace inflation.
Right.
Sadly mine hasn't. And I know my employees haven't. So there's so many factors these days that are just working against the first-time home buyer, unfortunately. Hopefully now that the Fed is kind of easing on those interest rates, that'll help, some of those first-time home buyers out. And, if you are a first-time home buyer, look at some of the programs out there like FHA or VA if you're a veteran that can get you into those homes.
Yep, that's right. I'm also a licensed mortgage loan originator, and we've got great full-time loan originators that work on the show. We've got Jeff Hoffman and Don and Casey as well that are great lenders, so we can help you kind of get plugged in there. I want to continue the clip because he goes on to another point.
Spent too much money, borrowed too much money. We have deteriorated our currency, and the purchasing power every generation is getting weaker. So your dollar is actually going.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were mentioning, Ray, is the purchasing power of the dollar has gotten so much weaker, less and less affordability. But I think, we're moving in the right direction. We got a peace deal that was done this week, huge peace deal in the Middle East. And I just think that our country is moving in the right direction. What say you, Ray Hall?
Yeah, I think absolutely, especially for real estate. Anytime, we're seeing the improvements, hopefully the peace deal, I don't know how that's going to directly impact real estate at this point, or the dollar. Just, even though I used to be a finance guy, it's just not my complete strong suit. I'm more into analyzing the real estate, but like I said before, we do have to see some factors. We do have to see good employment, and we do have to see those interest rates coming down. Not that they're, I've seen higher, in my 50 years, but to stimulate that growth back into that real estate market, we do need to see the lower rates. So I think everything is on track for that. I'm pretty optimistic about the coming year and where the real estate market's going to go. It's been slow, and we've had our correction, and I'm looking forward to just moving forward.
Yep. I'm with you. I am super excited about where the market's going and where we're positioned, because a lot of realtors got out of the business since it's been difficult for the last couple of years. A lot of people went back to whatever they were doing before, whether it's personal training, bartending, et cetera. No knocks against those industries, but in any industry, there's good, better, and best. And I think right now the point is that in the appraisers, whether it's inspectors, real estate agents, you have the best that are still in the business, because those are the ones that had the staying power. They were able to get deals done. They worked hard. They put the effort in, and now you have that 80-20 rule coming into effect. So that's another point to make as well. Quick break, right back. More with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals coming up here after this short break. I want to ask him this question around AI in the appraisal industry. I want to ask him about that. How is artificial intelligence affecting the valuation business when it comes to evaluating real estate, commercial, residential, vacant land, businesses? Ray Hall can help you with that. Ray Hall Appraisals coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Ray Hall Appraisals, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. I'm going to ask him about AI in valuation. Seems like AI is affecting almost every business. And, of course, when you look at the energy sector, Larry Fink was on stage at the Energy AI Summit months ago. He's saying how there's going to be so much demand for electricians. So if you got a young one that's thinking about, hey, I'm not a 4-year school, university type of guy, get them into that electrical trades. I mean, there's going to be a lot of innovation there, a lot of need and demand for energy. So that would be something to think about. 10129 Little Road in Newport Richey. We've got a chiropractor office for sale. Great opportunity to buy real estate. This one's on Little Road in Newport Richey, Florida. 10129 Little Road. You got 2337 square feet, over an acre of land, and it's an office building, commercial chiropractic office with high visibility. Great opportunity to buy real estate. It's ADA compliant. New roof installed in 2020. You got a functional and lit monument out by the road for high visibility. Great opportunity. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com, and you can see all of our radio show experts at consumerqb.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, Ray, tell us a little bit about artificial intelligence in your business, sir.
You know what? I'm been using a lot of it. Not what people are thinking. It's not, doing the work for me. But I have to say, in learning about it, it definitely makes it enables you to run your business a lot more efficiently, is how I use it. I can definitely see where there's going to be some dangers going forward, where people aren't quite thinking things through like they used to. They're just kind of relying on the AI. But I know a lot of people, when it first started getting popular, people saying they weren't going to need appraisers anymore. I've found, it really can't do everything an appraiser does. You definitely still need a human being to kind of guide it. I almost tell people, when you're using AI, it's just a really smart assistant. And it can help you with a lot. I have a commercial business that runs in 9 states right now. And a lot of times I'm using appraisers in those states to help me with inspections. And I used one particular AI where it created a mobile app for me. It gave me all the coding, and I wrote the entire code and made the entire mobile app in probably an hour or two.
Wow.
Right. So something I would have had to have paid thousands of dollars to have for me several years ago, literally I did it all myself, and it works great and it looks great.
Yeah, I love that. I've seen a lot of it where I've utilized it on some CMAs as well. It'll give you like the hardcore data, and then once you go in and you're looking at what you need to make in terms of the changes and the kind of adapting that raw into like, here's what would actually be more relevant. I think that's where you can see AI being used as well, Ray.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I use that a lot in that way. I don't necessarily, like people say, I don't use it as a Google. I don't pull my information from AI. A lot of times I'm giving AI the information and just kind of saying, okay, what trends are you seeing? Here's all the raw data. What can you calculate? What can you show me? What's this neighborhood doing? Can you just summarize this document for me? Things like that. So it's doing, things that used to take me hours to do, I can give it to AI now. And it's helped me a lot. I mean, this is why I know a lot of appraisers are having trouble with work out there. I've stayed fairly busy just because we are able to get our stuff done so fast because we do run our office very efficiently.
Yeah.
And we can get that work out to the client.
And right.
AI's been a huge help with that.
RayHallAppraisals.com. Is that the best coordinates for you? RayHallAppraisals.com?
Absolutely. You'll have my email address and my phone number there, 813-452-5369.
All right, Ray Hall. Thanks for the update, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Appreciate
We
it.
had Danny White on the front end, insurance expert contributor. Of course, Ray Hall Appraisals, longtime friend of the show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.